So again, good morning, everybody. This is the Best of Missouri Hands annual meeting, which is for all of the membership. And this is where we get to tell you what your organization has been doing and it will be doing over the coming year. So I'm going to turn the meeting over to Barb Byrne, who is our president.
Hello. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our annual meeting. Obviously, you all know that we were supposed to be doing this in Columbia, but life happens, and so we're not. But the good news is because this is being recorded, there will be a lot more members who would not have been able to be at the meeting who will be able to look at the recording and get all the information that we will be sharing today. So I will go ahead and move on. Whoops, maybe. Maybe I will, maybe I won't.
You might just need to click on the slide again to get it going.
Okay,
There you go.
there we go. Uh, just a quick introduction of our board of directors. I, of course, am the president. Barbara has introduced herself as the vice president. Pat Burkbigler is our secretary. Steve Hofstetter, our treasurer. Nancy Brickner, membership. Nina, grants and visiting artists. Angel Regional Events. Lisa Hilton, jury. Garnetta Sullivan helps with regional events. Christine Lohse, is that how you say her name? Communications. And Bethany Spalding, professional development grant. Our advisory board, as it stands right now, Michael Gaines from Missouri Arts Council, Nancy Kohler, Marcia Mendez, and Allison Norfleet Bringer. Lee Richards has been on our advisory board for a very long time, and she said that if anyone needs her advice, she's happy to help, but has taken herself off of the board officially. And then our staff, whom we cannot do without. Peggy is our bookkeeper and our website administrator, and Kim is our communications manager. Our supporting agencies, Missouri Arts Council, the Volunteer Lawyers and Accountants for the Arts, and the Missouri Association of Community Arts Agencies. And they are very great in supporting all the work that we do. Okay, short and sweet report from me. I have been your president since last July. I have learned a great deal about the organization and about how to be a leader. I feel very, very fortunate. All of the board members that I have been working with are amazing people to work with. No one has ever said no to anything that I have asked for directly. They are willing to step up for just about anything. And we have a really good working relationship, I feel. We are always interested in looking at what kind of programming and events we can do and have you participate in to have you grow as an artist. We're really excited that we've already started the planning for Arts March 2027, and we'll be talking about that later in the presentation. And also really excited about the regional meeting program that we've started. I belong to the one in Kansas City, and we've met 2 or 3 times, and it hasn't been a large group of people, but the excitement that we share when we're meeting is just amazing. So I'm hoping that other regions will get in the groove and start meetings in their areas. My door is always open. Um, if you have anything that you want to comment on or ask questions about or whatever, please feel free to email me at any time. And I thank you all for your cooperation. Okay, Barbara, on to you.
Okay, now you guys may have noticed we have a Barb and a Barbara, and that's how we keep it all separate. So this is good. So, as the vice president, my major role really is bringing on new board members, and we will be having elections again in June. One of the things that I think is really important, and I'll just tell you my story about the board. I didn't anticipate being on the board. Wasn't looking to be on the board, but I did want to be more involved. And I have never regretted being on the board. And so I really want to hear from you if you know of somebody who would like to be on the board or you think would be a good board member, or if you're interested in being on the board, I'd be happy to share everything I possibly can about that. But nominations are now open, so I would love to hear from you if you are interested, and we'll just go from there. But any member, you do not have to be a juried member, any member in good standing, which means your membership is active, can become a board member, and I would highly recommend it. So we have openings for 3 or 4 people coming up, and the term starts in July. So if you have any questions, there's my email address. You can also message me on Facebook or Instagram at Quiet Imagery, and I'll be happy to have a conversation with you about it.
Thank you. Okay, Steve, you're up. Steve, are you there?
I'm there. I just couldn't find my unmute
Oh,
button.
okay.
So yes,
I can't see everybody, so I don't know if you're muted or not.
yeah. Um, what you see on your slide is our uh, the first 3 quarters of 26 um, treasurer's report. It shows our total income versus our total expenses. Now, in income, we have things like membership dues, our donations, and jury fees that were paid and so forth, miscellaneous uh, income. Our expenses, however, we have advertising, our staff, fees that we've paid, our mixed expenses like insurance and bank charges and that type of thing. And you'll note that our expenses at this time exceed our income. We had a little bump in the road this time. We had um, applied for a grant of which we thought we were going to get, and unfortunately, it did not occur. We're working on a number of different things to overshadow our shortfall. However, our overall income for our organization is in good shape. We have well over $57,000 in the bank. We're working real diligently, like I say, trying to find additional grant monies to try to finish out this year. We may end up in a small shortfall, but I think things are well underway to correct that situation, and we've already applied for a number of grants for next year. So I think overall, our organization is in good financial shape. Thanks to Peggy, because she keeps fantastic books.
Thank you.
And if
Okay.
there's any questions or anything, anybody would like to see financials in more detail, they can contact anyone on the board or Peggy or myself, and we will make sure they get additional information.
Okay, has anybody put any questions in the chat, or are we still getting people putting in?
We've got those handled. I think
Okay.
Sherry might like a detailed report sent to her later. So
Okay. All righty.
I've
Thank you.
got that written down.
Okay, thanks. Thank you, Steve. Okay, Nina, the grant committee.
The Missouri Arts Council Partnership Grant supports everything that we do as an organization. And as you can see, because of the reductions in the state of Missouri art budget, we may face a 30 to 40% reduction. I would encourage every one of you to contact your state legislators and tell them personally what the arts mean to your community. If anyone needs help reaching out to their legislators, contact me. I have a way where you can look them up. I also have a template for a letter that you can send. I think everybody on the board has already done that. If more members would do that, it
Did I lose you, Nina?
no, I've
Oh.
finished.
Oh, okay.
I'm not, I just assumed everyone could read read what's written on the screen.
Yes, no, that's fine. I just all of a sudden
Yeah.
it
It
looked like
stopped.
okay. Yes. Okay.
Peggy,
I will move
I mean,
on.
excuse me, Nina, how do
Yeah.
people contact you that would like this template? Because there's a couple of people who are asking about that.
Oh, okay. Um, Let me put my email in the chat. How about that?
That sounds
Great.
Oops. Uh-oh. Sorry, I hit. There we go.
Thank you.
okay, Nina, you're on again.
Okay. So we were successful in being awarded an express grant for $4,000. We don't actually have the money yet. The way it works is we spend it and then we turn in a detailed report and they reimburse us. But and we're currently in process with this. The period ends June 30th. So after that, we will apply to get the money and they will send it to us. But I just want everyone to feel really good about this because without receiving this grant, there would be 16 groups of senior citizens across Missouri who would not have had the experience of making something with their own hands and being guided by a working artist in doing that. So I know there are people who are here, people on the board, people in the chat who have done this. I think it's a rewarding experience for the artist and extremely rewarding for the participants. And I'm very grateful to everybody who has volunteered to do it. They get paid, so it's a good thing. We have everybody signed up to do it. I don't need any more artists to do it. Um, but I feel really
This
good about this one.
this fiscal year.
Right. It's yeah, June 30th. Our fiscal year is July 1st to June 30th. And we got a late start on this one because we didn't know we weren't getting the other grant until later in the fall. So at the time that Peggy and I did the application for this, it was already November. And then they needed a month to review it. And so we couldn't start our visits until our sessions until December 12th. And we had to squeeze in $4,000 worth of artist visits, but we're doing it. And we should all feel really good about that because it's all for senior citizens. That was how the grant was written, just for seniors.
And just as an aside, I'm going to be doing three of them upcoming, one in May and two in June. And I was absolutely bowled over at the response at the facilities at being offered this opportunity. They are just thrilled and can't wait for for these to happen. And the residents are very excited. So good thing.
We didn't always do visiting artists in senior centers, and that was something that we started maybe 2 years ago. And we were given a hot tip by the Missouri Arts Council director who said that Missouri's lieutenant governor is particularly partial to projects that provide um, worthwhile art to seniors. And so that's how we wrote the grant, and we were awarded the full amount.
Great. Thank you, Nina.
Good job.
Okay, now you can actually talk about the visiting artist.
Okay, so in case you don't already know about visiting artists, and the grant, of course, has been an extension of the visiting artist program, but the visiting artist program is one of the most visible things that we do. We put working artists directly in front of people who might not otherwise have access to seeing original art and learning about the creative process. So, what a joy it is for both participants and artists to bring their artwork into a location, either a school, a senior center, a library, And they bring their actual art in, they talk about it, uh, they show how they do something, they show a technique, how they actually create something. And then in most cases, they don't always do this, but in most cases, they provide a project for the participants to do, which is just, something wonderful for those people. And whether they're children or adults or senior citizens, um, we do this all, we don't charge anybody for it, but we do pay the artists. You do have to be a juried artist to participate in the visiting artists program or in the visiting artists for the grant program. Um, and we pay for these regular visits with $1,000 in our budget, and then we pay for the senior visits with the express grant that I just talked about.
Okay, thank you. Here is just a collage that I put together showing some of the people that have already done these visits, either as visiting art in the visiting artist program or in the express grant program. So this is just a sampling of people and the photos that they have sent in showing their work at their facilities.
And Cherie just did hers, so and I just posted her collage yesterday, so I didn't have the actual pictures at the time. So, but they're on the website now, on Facebook, sorry.
Okay, I do not believe that Angel is here. She sent me the following report. She finally has Springfield locked down. The drop off, as you can see, is at the Creamery in Springfield, 625 and 626 from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And she stressed that you have to drop off your work during that window. Shipping will be available, but she didn't have the details for that worked out yet. They will hang the show on June 29th. It'll open on July 3rd. They haven't scheduled the reception yet because it's obviously July 4th weekend. The show will close on July 30th, and then pickup is the 30th and the 31st. As far as future events, she's looking at Hannibal for late 2027 or early 2028. And she reached out to Manchester Arts, but she said that there's a fee to show. So she's trying to get some more information about that to see if that really is a viable thing for us to consider.
Hey,
Anybody have?
Barb.
Yes.
Yeah, Barb. We have a new person on here today that
Okay.
might not be familiar with the regional events on the road. If you just would kind of give a brief little description about it.
If I can, I participated in a couple of them. Angel sets up exhibits in different parts of the state. And then she puts out a call, and any member of Best of Missouri Hands can apply to the event. And then they bring their art. They show it for the exhibit for the specified period of time. And then there are awards given to people for their art. And so that way we get to become known in different parts of the state, and the artists can get exposure. She does one a year, I believe. I think a couple of years she's done more than one, but there were special circumstances surrounding that. I participated in one in Columbia. I've participated in one in Illinois, and then one in Joplin. Uh, so this one now that's going to be coming up is in Springfield. Is there anything else about that, Kim? You're muted. You're muted, Kim.
Sorry, thank you. Pat asked the question, just get the question kind of rolling. Do we apply on entry thingy, and is there a fee for the artist to show? And the question is yes, the exhibits are called Best Missouri Hands on the Road. And like Barb said, it moves around to different areas of the state. So next year it'll be in another area. Last year it was in Columbia, and we did manage to have two last year. So we had one in Columbia and one in Chillicothe. So there is a small entry fee just to help with all the work that goes on, behind the scenes and stuff. And for prize money and stuff, we do give ribbons and prize money. And the entries, once we put out the call, like Barb said, uh, Angel reported like when call's going to go out and stuff like that. You do submit on Entry Thingy. You submit your images on Entry Thingy. And I wouldn't hesitate if you live in a different area, like, if you're not around the Springfield area and stuff. We usually have someone that will be traveling that way or something, and we set up some kind of a transport system and stuff. I know when the exhibit was in Chillicothe years ago, um, Don Crozier and I, we collected a bunch of people's arts and we hauled it up to Chillicothe and then hung the show and so things like that are possible too. So don't let that prevent you from showing.
Yeah.
But I
And
think that's about all I.
that's absolutely true. I mean, when we coordinated the Columbia show, there were several people who were willing to bring art from other artists in their area to the show. So we had a really good showing, but not everybody who showed had to actually physically deliver their art to the site. So artists have been very cooperative in helping each other out in that regard. Okay, thank you. Okay, regional meetings, Barbara.
So, as Barb mentioned earlier, we have started doing regional meetings, and I should have probably had the map of what the different regions are, but we have 8 regions, and right now we only have a few regions that are active. And I'd love for more regions to become more active because it's a great way. Well, let me back up. Regional meetings are really just getting together with artists in your area. So many artists kind of work in isolation, and it's just nice to talk art with other members, get some ideas, get some inspiration, share tips, those kinds of things. And so I would really look at, we put them in the Facebook group, the map and just who is currently doing something. But I'd love to hear from other people who are, thank you, Kim. She just shared the map in the chat so that you can see that. And if you don't know what region you're in.
I
But
think
I'd
it's
really,
the next slide.
is it the next slide?
It
Oh,
might
you,
be the next slide, but I
oh,
can't.
you added it? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I think
Um,
so.
But anyway, I would love to see more people participate. So right now, Region 3 is being coordinated by Patty, who is here. And I think they've been the most active in having meetings almost on an annual basis at different places. I've seen meetings at coffee shops, at different people's galleries, at restaurants, whatever. It doesn't matter. Whoever wants to be a coordinator for their region, you don't have to host anything. We were using the term host, but it made it sound like you needed to put on a luncheon or something like that. You don't. Just gather people together and say, we're meeting here, and whoever comes, comes. So, Region 3, like I said, has been one of the most active ones. Region 5, we have, and actually it's not on this slide, Region 5 has a meeting in Lake of the Ozarks later this month. And so that information right now is on Facebook, and it was also in the most recent newsletter that went out. So that'll be in Lake of the Ozarks, but I'm also going to start coordinating something in the Columbia, Jefferson City area, and hopefully we'll get started next month. So I'll be posting that on Facebook and in our newsletters. Region 7, which is the Kansas City metro area, has also been active, and I know they have a meeting coming up, I believe, very shortly.
Mhm.
And then Region 8, which is the Springfield area, we had somebody doing it. They decided not to and let somebody else do it. And then that person had some major family issues with a death in the family. And so that's been on hold. And so we're still looking for all of the different regions. Now, the other thing too I want to say is you don't have to just go to the ones in your region. You can go and visit the other ones. And for people that live so far out that they can't get to something, we meet the first Tuesday of every month on Zoom. And so you are certainly welcome to join us for the artist talk on Zoom, first Tuesday of the month, and that's also posted in the Facebook group. That's all I have. And there's the map.
There's the map. Yes.
So Barb, thank you for including it. I didn't.
Not a problem. I also want to say that it really is a good idea and certainly welcome to invite people who are artists who are not members of Best of
Correct.
Missouri
Thank you.
Hands,
Yeah.
because maybe we'll get some members doing that. And there are also, I mean, I have found there are a lot of artists who don't belong to organizations. They're out there in their houses or in their studios or whatever doing their thing, and they don't connect to other people. So I think it's a really good idea. Get a group of friends. I mean, if there are people that you know that you do things with who are not members, bring them along to a regional meeting, and we'll get some new members, hopefully, or at the very least, they get to spend time with other artists and get energized in their particular work. Professional development workshop, Kim.
Um, can can I ask something real quick though? Could
Sure,
I ask Patty Minix to unmute and maybe just give her insight, because she has been doing the regional meetings, I think at least 3 or 4 times, and her region and stuff. So if she would kind of maybe just fill us in a little bit how that's going.
absolutely.
Well, you got it. So I have been doing the regional meetings monthly. I try and kind of throw out an idea on Facebook in our Best of Missouri Hands members only page. I personally am much better in the early afternoon, late morning, early afternoon time frame. I know I've had some people contact me that they would prefer evenings or weekends, and to those I say, feel free to create gatherings on your own. I mean, because it's just, I love midday during the week. And that's what, that's where I'm kind of targeting people. So once a month we've been gathering, we've gathered. So in Region 3, I have St. Charles, Warren, Franklin, and Washington,
Warren.
or
Frank.
Jefferson.
Mhm.
I don't know all my
It's on the map.
But of course, as Barb said, it is welcome to anyone. And we've just gathered. I mean, I've just been kind of doing like a 10 to 12 meetup. We've met at a coffee shop in Washington a couple times. Last week, we actually went down. Adrienne, who's on our call, she has a shop and gallery down in Festus. So we met down there and everyone brought some artwork and we did a show and tell. And then we went out to lunch afterwards. Right now it's been, just kind of a smaller group of people. I would love to see more people get involved, but honestly, I'm grateful for the people that do show up. And it is such a great opportunity to get to know the artists that are closer. I mean, this organization, we're statewide. So, I mean, there's artists all across Missouri. So it's nice to actually find some members that are more central to where you're located. And as Barb also said, yeah, working, I mean, I'm a full-time artist that I work out of my home. So I yearn for community and conversation. And I think doing these regional meetups is such a great way to really get our members active. So my contact info was up there. So my email, my phone number, if anyone has any questions. And yeah, May, I actually threw out the idea we're going to meet up at the Shaw Nature Reserve and do a plein air event, where either drawing or painting or photography, we're going to just meet up there and just spend a couple hours and admire wildflowers and just kind of gather and share art supplies and kind of inspire one another. So
Sounds good.
thanks.
Thank you, Patty. Okay, Kim.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for doing that, Patty. I'm Kim Carr, I think the only person on here I don't know is Adrian, and thank you. Welcome for being here. I've heard good things about you from Patty. Shout out to the folks that aren't normally on here. Evan, good to see you, buddy. Sherry, how are you doing? Darla, we just chatted the other morning. It's good to see you. I'm glad you made it. And Patty and Wanda. So thank you all for being here. Um, as part of the professional development workshops, we put on a different workshop every month. It used to be the Best Missouri Hands would travel about the state and put on little mini workshops. I know Marcia Menendez and I did one up in Kansas City on social media. Patty and I did one down in Cape Girardeau a couple years ago, and she taught everybody how to put together a light box. But then when COVID hit and it changed the world, things got flipped upside down. We still wanted to stay in touch with our members and stuff. So we started moved to Zoom, like half the world, more than half the world, moved to Zoom and started putting on workshops once a month on Zoom. And I have to shout out to Wanda because she's my teammate. She helps me get these things rocking and rolling. So she's not up here. She's, but uh everybody, a big, huge shout out to her because she helps me get these things going. This year, we are focusing on um, doing studio tours, doing virtual artist studio tours as a way to kind of get to meet our fellow members and get an inside look at their creative spaces and stuff. Patty did one, I guess, last month, and it was a lot of fun. It's neat to see, where everybody is creating and stuff. We have we just had Lisa Hilton and Catherine Mahoney were did studio tours this month. The awesome thing is that we do record them and they go up onto our YouTube channel. You can see a screenshot here of some of the videos on our YouTube channel. So you can go there anytime, because I know sometimes 10 o'clock on a Tuesday isn't real convenient for everybody. Some of you have other jobs too and stuff. So feel free to catch up on the YouTube channel. Next month, I know we've got Regine, I think it's Mitrell. I've never met her in person, but she's a glass artist. And we have another spot open. We had an artist that had to change due to some other things going on in life. And so I do have a half an hour spot open if anybody would like to nab that. Just shoot a video of your studio and we'll share that on Zoom and then open it up for questions and answers. And then we've got a couple half-hour spots open up like July, August, and September. So if anybody wants to take part in that, or if you know of an artist that you'd like to encourage, please do so. So that's kind of what we're doing right now, and it's been really nice. I kind of miss the in-person things, but it's nice being able to stay home and for people all over really to be able to join in on those. So welcome anybody to join us, and anybody who would like to do a presentation, please get hold of me. Please get hold of me. So
Thank you.
any questions? Yeah.
Here you go. Here's another slide, Kim.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, those are, excuse me, some of the ones that we've got coming up scheduled for the studio tours. And it's just really neat seeing, where people are creating. And I will tell you what, one thing that has become obviously very clear to me, like you go to an art show or something and people see your work, they don't realize all the amount of time and effort and money that goes into creating that piece of art. The studios I've seen, the equipment and everything that people invest money in, and it's just phenomenal because I'm an artist myself, but it just really gives me a greater appreciation of what all it's what they see at an art show or in a gallery is just like a minute little speck on the surface. There's so much more to it. So I appreciate everybody's hard work that they put in here because I know it's not easy, and you know, and definitely take advantage of those regional events because if you want in person, either step up and say, "Hey, I'll lead a group." It's not like you have to do anything, just gather some people up and say, "Hey, let's have some fun together." But if you want some in person, that's the way to go. But if you're not able to make it to events, please join, you know, one of our professional development workshops. They're always the second Tuesday, usually the second Tuesday of the month at 10. If our speaker for some reason needs a different day or time, we accommodate that. So, but again, they are recorded and on our YouTube channel. So
Thank you,
I think
Kim.
that's yeah.
Okay, moving right into.
Okay. I also kind of help with the social media for Best Missouri Hands. So we do have and communications is all wrapped under there. So we do have a professional Facebook page. We also have the member only Facebook group page, which if you're not in that, I would encourage you to join that because we post a lot of stuff that doesn't always go out onto the main page, especially like calls for artists and stuff like that. We also have an Instagram page, which is led by Christine. She's on here today, so she might want to chat about that. We have the YouTube channel, and we also put out a newsletter every other month. It goes out to 800 subscribers. So if you ever have news you want to share, you've got a new body of work, you've won an award, you're gonna exhibit somewhere or something like that, please get that information. My email's up there, kimmerhaw@yahoo.com. Send that to me. And you can send it to me anytime because I save it in a folder. So, if the newsletter's not due to come out for several weeks or something, I still have got that saved. Send me an image. Make sure in the subject line you put Best Missouri Hands News or something like that so that I don't think it's junk and pitch it without looking at it because it's important and I want to share your news. So as you can see up there, these are numbers from last week, but our social media is very active on Instagram and Facebook, and we've got a good following and stuff. So I would encourage you if you are actively wanting to sell your art, please create a business Facebook page. We've got several members and that are have a personal page and they share on their personal page. Problem is a lot of times I can't share that over to the Best Missouri Hands main page because of the privacy settings. They've got it set so that, just their family and friends see it. Well, then I can't share their beautiful piece of work. So if you have a business page, you don't have to track, like on my personal account, someone sends me a friend request. I look at it, I'm like, I don't know this person. Then I look at their page and I'm like, oh, they don't like animals. Nope, I'm not going to friend them. On my business page, I don't care, what their likes are and stuff. So by creating a business page, you're helping yourself and you're helping us to be able to promote you because that's one of our jobs. We want to promote our artist. And so do me a favor. And if I'm not aware of your business page, make me aware. Make me aware and make Christine aware so that we can follow you on Facebook and Instagram and share your posts. We're not going to be able to share every one of your posts. If you're prolific and you're posting every day and stuff, or 4 or 5 times a day. All of it might not get shared, but we're going to do our best to get you out there. So, Christine, do you have anything you'd like to share?
Hi, not too much. I'm responsible for posting the artist spotlights daily. So twice a day we share artwork from our jury members on Instagram and Facebook. And yeah, that's been going great. And as you mentioned, we have a lot of followers and a lot of posts. So yeah, and also make sure your Best of Missouri Hands juried member page is updated as well, so we can use those photos and posting in the future spotlights. So yeah.
Thank you, Christine. I
Thank you.
appreciate all the work. You're doing a really good
Thank you.
job.
Oh, no
Yeah,
problem.
she is. The Instagram is going well, and the nice thing about Instagram is you got a younger audience there. So our artists' work is getting seen by a younger crowd and a different crowd than what you find on Facebook. And she mentioned something that's extremely important. Uh, I I guess, Adrian, are you a member yet? Or are you are? Okay. Are you juried yet? You are juried? Okay, you're not juried yet. Okay. All right. Once you're a juried member, populate that juried member page because like Christine, when she's doing spotlights, if she goes to your page and you don't have images there or anything, I mean, it's hard for her to share that. I put together the banner. I try to change the banner every week on the Facebook page. And a lot of times I'll grab art, I'll see art or something. And on that, I will link, I'll put up whatever information you have about yourself on your juried member page, and I'll include the link back to that page so that they come back to Best Missouri Hands page website. And so many times, I've created a banner and stuff, and then I go to get the information and I see that artist has not populated their page, and it's so disappointing. Also, too, we've got um, this past year, we've done a year of advertising Best Missouri's Hands artists with Missouri Life magazine. And so you had to be a juried artist to be able to be eligible for that. But one of the other criteria, you had to have your page populated. So there's so many artists that submitted to be a part of that. But then when we went to their page and it didn't have information about them or images of their work, they were automatically just eliminated from the running and stuff. So um, and years ago, the governor at the time used to go to the website and would pick out artists to have their work, and that he would buy a bunch of, like Kim Kinney. She's a wood artist down in southern Missouri. One year, the governor selected her, and he bought tons of her pieces because he would gift them to dignitaries when he visited them or they visited over here and stuff, galleries, select artists that way and stuff. So don't underestimate the power of your juried member page. There's many, many reasons. And if you need help with it, there's a YouTube channel, shows you how to update it and populate it. And if you still need help, contact me. I will walk you through it. So I think that's it.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, I do not believe that Lisa is here, and this is the information that she sent me. This is a list or a collage of all of the people who have become juried members in the past year. And you can see who they are and what their medium is. The next jury session opens on June 1st. And here are the benefits. She outlined the benefits of becoming a juried member, and you can read those as they are listed. The application is on the website, and we cannot stress enough. If you have not been accepted in the past, please try again. Um, there are so many variables when someone is being juried. I personally was not accepted the first time that I applied. And yes, I know how it feels. It is very discouraging, especially when you've put so much time and effort into your work. But I learned from the comments. They shared comments with me about why I wasn't accepted. And I took all of those comments seriously. And I was lucky that most of the comments in my case related to my images. So I had to learn how to improve my images. So it wasn't my artwork that they had an issue with, but they couldn't really see my artwork because I didn't have the right resolution on the images. And when they blew them up, everything was blurry. So they couldn't even really see what my artwork was. So I handled that very carefully when I made application the second time, and gratefully I was accepted the second time. Um, there was as it says here, that Lisa created a presentation called Want to Know More About Applying to Become a Best of Missouri Hands Juried Artist. You will find that on YouTube, and I highly encourage you to look that over before making application again or for the first time. And all of the people on the jury are Best of Missouri Hands board member, are Best of Missouri Hands juried members. And any of us will answer whatever questions you may have in terms of doing your application. So if anybody has any questions, you can look at the YouTube channel presentation. You can contact Lisa, or you can contact me or anyone else who is on the board. Membership. Is Nancy here? No. Okay. So we use the map of our regions just to give you an idea of how many members we have in each region. And I don't actually have to read them all, but you can see there are quite a few members. Some of these bigger regions here are where we have a real problem, and especially when you look at the regional meetings. I mean, when you talk about doing a regional meeting for 7, 8, or 6 or 4, I mean, even 5 is a pretty big one, but those are really large areas and probably don't have, well, significant numbers. Any questions about that?
I'd like to state it shows out of state one.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
anybody can join the Best Missouri Hands. You do not have to live in Missouri. You
Mm,
do have to live in Missouri to get juried in.
okay.
Okay. And in the past, we used to have a couple different artists lived out of state and stuff. Now, this out of state one here, this is Carol Estes. She did live in Missouri. She lived in Hannibal, Missouri. She got juried in, and she has moved out of state now. Once you're juried in, you are always a juried member as long as you pay your dues and you're a member in good standing. You'll always be a Best of Missouri Hands juried member. So you can move anywhere and keep your juried status, which is what she has done. But like I said, anybody anywhere can join and be a member. They just can't jury in if they live out of state.
Okay. Good
Okay.
to know. I had a question about that. I wondered once you were juried, if you moved out of state, if you lost your juried status, but it's good to know that you do not.
No, as long as you keep your dues paid and that you stay a good member, if there's, if you're caught to be unethical or something like that, you could have your juried status revoked. But um, you know, yeah, once you're a juried member, you're always a juried member.
Okay,
Just pay
thank
those
you.
dues.
Pay your dues. Yes, that's the important part. Okay, Kim, here we go. Art Smart Committee.
I should have drank some water this
I was
morning.
just going to say, do you need some water?
Uh, well, for anyone who doesn't know about Art Smart, it is a 2 to 3 day conference that we put on. It used to be every year. We've moved to every other year just to make it easier on our sanity because there's a lot of work that goes into it. So next year, and it's got the dates up there, April 23rd through 25th. Darla, are you making notes? Darla, I acknowledge you. Okay, thank you. She loves Art Smart, but she has issues with her cattle and stuff, and not always being able to schedule things the way it needs to be. So next year it'll be in Columbia. We're staying in Columbia, but we're going to do a new hotel just to kind of spice things up because we like to get wild sometimes. It'll be at the Marriott. Peggy and Ruth Walker have both gone there. Say it's a lovely hotel. I think we'll have a blast. Basically, the first night is just kind of, if you can make it up Friday night, just kind of hanging around, talking with each other, getting to meet your fellow artists and stuff like that. Saturday, we have a guest speaker, and our speaker this year, and she will talk both days, is Diane Scott, and she's with Artist Inc. out of Kansas City. Thank you. She's with Artist Inc. And she has got her, let's say, her thumb on the pulse of the art world and art community. And I think she's got some things that will apply to all of us that will help us in our art career, no matter what stage you are at, and whether you're doing shows or you're selling from your website or however, and I think it'll be something that'll be beneficial to all of us. But she'll speak both days. And also on Saturday, then we'll have little mini breakout sessions. I think Patty has agreed to do a little session on photographing your artwork, which, yay, awesome, because people always have questions about that. And they are staggered. It used to be our breakouts were all at the same time, and you had to pick one to attend. Last year, I think it was, or the year before, or the time before, we went to staggering them. So you can attend all three of the breakouts if you want. You can just attend one, whatever. We are bringing back the artist showcase. It used to be you could bring in some of your artwork, set up a table, and sell during Art Smart. We're working we're working out the logistics of that. We hope to bring that back so that you could get a table at Art Smart and be able to have some of your work out on display and up for sale. We have raffle, we have silent auctions. So in that case, artists bring in pieces of artwork, and we do the silent auction, bid on it and stuff. And there's just some amazing pieces coming there. And the money raised goes back to Best of Missouri Hands for our scholarship funds. So we give out a scholarship for Art Smart. We actually have scholarships for that. Does it go into the grant money too, Peggy, the professional development grant?
Uh, Depending on how many scholarships we give out, then
Okay.
the rest would just go into the general fund, actually.
Okay. All
Uh,
right. And go ahead.
no, that's it.
Okay. Uh, and we've got the Beast, where if you've got old art supplies that you no longer use, you can bring those in, put them on the Beast table. People can donate $1. They might throw in $20, but it's a good way to get some bargains.
Yeah.
And then we normally like that lunch and dinner are catered in. Always a good meal. During lunch on Saturday, we'll have an annual meeting just like we're doing today. So get everybody up to speed on what's going on in the organization. Um, Saturday night, we have Saturday night shenanigans. And last year during ArtSmart, Barb and Pat and Steve and Patty, did you do one last year? My brain's fuzzy. You're muted.
I think she did.
I
I
did
think
I do collaging?
Yeah, that's right. She did.
Bookmaking. I was
something.
doing those
Yeah.
easy
Yeah.
like bookbinding and
Yes.
collaging.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
That's what it was.
So
Yeah.
what we do is we set up like 6 or 8 tables, and a different artist will be in charge of that table. So like I said, Steve and Barb and Pat, Patty did last time. And they offer, like Steve's table, they were doing wood carving. And I mean, that table was packed, and they did some pretty neat pieces and stuff. And Pat, she actually wore a Shenanigans t-shirt, which I thought was fantastic. So, and Barb was making glass pieces and everything. So you can go to a table and sit and stay there for the evening, or you can try to hit every single table. It is up to you, but it's just a fun way to get out there and maybe try something you haven't done before. Of course, a couple of years ago when I went you know, sat down at a table and stuff, I sat down at the card making table, and I make cards all the time and stuff. But I loved it. It was different material and stuff. I had a blast. So Saturday nights are a lot of fun. Sunday we'll start with the speaker again. She'll do a segment, and then we always follow it up with a mock jury. So anybody who wants to submit images for a friendly critique, maybe you're wanting to better your images, or maybe you just don't know how to present them and stuff. It's an excellent way to get your work out there and get some things figured out before you start applying for exhibits and shows and stuff. So anyways, ArtSmart is just a fun weekend, a lot of connecting, seeing old friends and meeting new ones. So Hope everybody will make plans. Save the date, April 23rd through 25th next year. And if you want to stay, Friday and Saturday night, great. If you only want to come up, Saturday and just stay that night, that's fine. Or have a friend in the area, something like that you want to stay with. But definitely put on your list because it is a professional development. I mean, this is your chance to get away, step away, get out and meet some people and go have fun with other creatives. So hope to see you there because everybody
Okay.
that attends always loves it.
I did want to add one thing. The people that are shown on the slide as the Art Smart Committee are the board members, but we have fortunately had volunteers from that are not on the board. Ruth Walker is one, Michelle Spry is another, I think Cindy Mutrix also. And we really, really appreciate their willingness to step up and join the committee with us and do a lot of the work that will have to happen locally. Most of the board members, with the exception of Peggy, do not live in Columbia. So the more people from the local area that we have that are willing to work with us, the more efficiently we'll be able to prepare and present everything that we need to do to make ArtSmart a success. So we really appreciate any other volunteers, as well as the three that I mentioned, who would be willing to step up and help us as we get closer to making this happen.
And Darla just put in the chat that I forgot we did create an Art Smart Facebook page group.
Yes.
And so right now, since I haven't had a whole lot of news yet to share to that, have been posting images from past Art Smarts and everything, just so everybody can see how much fun it is. And it's been going on a long time. It's been going on a long time. So there is that, and I will try to get better about posting that more frequently. And of course, as we get closer and stuff, there will be information going out there a lot. So.
Okay, next up is
And always on the website, there's a ArtSmart page, or there, yeah, I think it's already set up. I'm not sure, but it will be if it's not. You can always find the latest information on ArtSmart and the scheduling as it comes in and things like that on the website.
Thank you, Peggy. Okay, up next, the Professional Development Grant Committee, of which I used to be a member, but I had to step down this year. Do you want to talk a little bit about that,
Okay.
Kim? Did you take
the professional the professional development grant is a grant that the Best of Missouri Hands awards once a year in February to deserving members that apply. Used to be we only had the one. Last year it was, I think, we were able to offer two $500 grants. So so that's excellent. You don't have to be a juried member. You can be, a newer member and stuff like this. Uh, if you got equipment that's going to help you out, if you want to take a workshop, it can be used for anything, but you must apply. The grants are open now. I mean, as soon as we get our grants done for the year, it opens up again, so you can apply anytime. Normally, it's people start getting active in January or so because it's due in February 15th, and but it is it's a hard position being on the committee. So I want to shout out to BB and Pat, who were part of the committee this year. So we each score, we use a Rubik's Cube basically to score the applications. And then those our numbers are all combined and averaged out and stuff. And so that is how we get select the winners. But this year we had a very tough go because the applicants were all were deserving. And if we get an application that's not deserving, we don't have to award it. If we get one applicant and they are not deserving, that doesn't mean they're going to get it. So this year's pool was very strong, it was a hard job, but it was interesting and fun. And if you want to, do BB or Pat, do either of you want to say anything? They're both staying muted. No,
Oh,
BB's
Just
here.
going to
it
say,
was it was a great.
go ahead.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. It was a great experience. It was very difficult scoring because, as you said, everyone was so deserving. But great. And it was also great to get just learn more about the artists that had applied as well.
I was just going to say it was much more difficult than I thought it was going to be. I thought it would be clear winners, but like you said, everybody who applied deserved it. So it was really I felt like it was very difficult to score and figure that out this year. So made me nervous.
Uh,
You did a
if
great
you go
job.
to the next, yeah, yeah, they did, and I appreciate the help. So one of the winners selected this year was Lisa Hilton. For those of you who may not know her, she is a clay artist, sculpture. She does figurative work. Very, very deserving. Great artist and stuff. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what she does. It's uh,
Yeah, she won to, in sorry. She participated in a 4-week online intensive. So I am really, really looking forward to see her work grow as a result of being able to participate in this in the intensive. And I hope that she'll do a professional development workshop to show us the results of some of the work that she did because of that.
Right. And she did do the studio tour last week. Um and we got to see in the studio tour some of her newer work and stuff. So it is cool to see where she's going with that. So I think the workshop was of great value to her. So very nice. And our second winner, since we had two $500 scholarships to give out, Joanna Jackson. She's a newer member. She just got juried in this last round, so congratulations to her. And I believe BB and Sherry and Evan also got juried in this past year and stuff. So good job, guys. But Joanna, she just bought a new type of sewing machine. She was really excited. I talked with her the other day, really excited to go out and get this new sewing machine to help her. She makes books and journals and does marbled paper and stuff. She's phenomenal. And she also has workshops at her house and stuff if anybody's ever interested. But she did a professional development workshop last year too that is up on YouTube. Excuse me, that you might enjoy watching. But so congratulations to them and thank you to everybody that did apply. And I'm sorry for those that didn't make it in because the applications were they were fantastic. Well deserving. So
Congratulations to them both. Okay, that brings us to the end of all of our prepared information. Any questions, discussion that has not already happened? I, okay. Okay. Well, if nobody, I can't see any hands or anything in the chat from, I'm sorry, I'm having technical difficulties. I couldn't get my screen to share without having it be full screen, so I can't see anything but what's on the PowerPoint. Um, if nobody has anything else to talk about or discuss right now, we're going to take a 15 or 20-minute break. You can stretch, you can go get something to eat, you can stay on and chat, and then we will welcome our speaker, Hannah Milks, at 11:30, I believe is when she's due to start. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Ah, So
I
now,
see everybody.
now I
I'll
can
stop
see
the
you
recording
all.
for now.
I'm sorry, what? Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Barbara. Okay, I'd like to kind of introduce our presenter for this morning afternoon, Hannah Milks. I met with her a few times. We've been in communication for a while, and I met with her earlier this week to talk about what she was going to present. And I told her that I was going to let her introduce herself because I certainly did not want to say something that was incorrect about something that I know so little about. So I'm going to turn it over to Hannah and let her introduce herself, and we'll go from there. Welcome to Hannah.
Thank you so much. Let me get my screen shared and we will just